decimals and the place value of decimals. So we know for our place value of whole numbers that we have ones, tens, and hundreds. And we know each place value is getting 10 times larger or 1/10 smaller. And we also have decimal place value. So right after your decimal point, you have the tenths place. And just like its name, it's 1/10 the value of the ones. After the tenths, you have the hundredths. The hundredths is 1/10 the value of the tenths, or it's 1/100th the value of the ones. And then you have your thousandths place value, which is the smallest decimal form we're going to look at this year. So a thousandths is 1/10 smaller than the hundredths, or it's 1/1000th the value of the ones place. So I like to think of it as 1/10, 1/100th, and 1/1000th as a fraction, just like the names show you. So with your place value, you can look at numbers. So if we had the number 36 and 178 thousandths. When you say your number, you have 36. Your decimal point is always called and. So it's not point, you say 36 and 178. And then where's your last place value? It's in the thousandths, so you'll say 178 thousandths. If you had the number this, okay, Miss Smith's gonna try it for us. How would you say this number?
142 and 342 thousandths.
Perfect. She knew the 2 was in the last place value of the thousandths, so she read it as 342 thousandths. And she did a good job saying her decimal is and. So we know how to read a decimal and look at our decimal place values. We're going to look at the different forms of decimals. So this would be your standard form. So standard form is when you're just writing your number out regular. So 1 and 43 hundredths. That's standard form. You're just writing your number. If you are doing it in word form, what do you think, Miss Smith? What would that be?
You would actually write out the word. So 1, O-N-E, 1.
Okay.
And 43 hundredths.
Perfect. And that is exactly right. So we know our word form and our standard form. The last form we need to talk about is expanded form. And this one's the trickiest, but it's not all that difficult. So with our same number, 1 and 43 hundredths, we're going to look at the place value of each number. So 1, how do you get to your ones? So 1 times 1 would get you 1, and then you're going to add your next place value. So we're adding 4/10. How do you think we could get to 4/10 with a 4? Think about what we learned with base or powers of 10. How can we get to 1/10 times 4?
Multiply it by 1/10.
Multiply it by 1/10. Okay, and then we're adding our last place value, which is the 3. Now the 3 is in the hundredths place, so how can we get 3 hundredths?
Multiply it by 1/100th.
Multiply it by 1/100th. So we know expanded form, 1 times 1 plus 4 times 1/10 plus 3 times 1/100th, which equals 1 and 43